Hi, this is Philip with G6 Technology Services. In this video we're going to be looking at a gaming computer that a customer brought in, and I just thought that you'd get a kick out of it because it's not exactly something that I would call a gaming computer. Well, here it is. So, just a little bit of a backstory. This computer was brought in to me by a customer and said that she just purchased it as a gaming computer and got it home and plugged it in and went to run her games, and it just didn't perform. It was really slow and didn't meet expectations, and just wanted me to see if there was anything wrong with it. And well, I basically was able to determine that this seems to be some kind of fraud, and we'll get into that in a minute. It was purchased off of Facebook Marketplace, and it's essentially a completely different machine than was advertised. And we'll get it opened up and we'll see what it actually came with. Alright, so we'll just go through the components step by step. So the listing said that it was supposed to have a Rosewell 600 watt power supply, which this clearly is not. We actually have a Light-On 300 watt power supply. Next it says the motherboard is supposed to be, well, they didn't really list it here, but it does say gaming motherboard. They didn't list the exact model. Let me see. Oh yeah, here we go. Can you see that? Lenovo. And what was on the front of this? This is an HP tower with a Lenovo motherboard in it. Okay, so not doing so good so far. It was supposed to have 8 gigabytes of ripsaw RAM, according to this listing. And, well, it does have RAM in it. But what do we actually have here? That is Samsung. 2 gigabyte Samsung RAM. But there's 2 of them. So we actually have 4 gigabytes of Samsung RAM. Okay. Supposed to have a Radeon HD 6870, which I'm not gonna pull this card out of here, but I checked and it's actually an HD 6670, so slightly less performance there. And we're supposed to have a quad-core 3.6 gigahertz processor. They didn't actually list the model of that processor that was supposed to come in here, but that's not what's in here. It's actually an i5, and it's a 2-core processor that ended up coming in at 3.2 gigahertz. So less in every way there. Okay, let's see, it was supposed to have some fancy CPU cooler, which clearly not the case. And it's supposed to have a super multi, I don't know what that means, SVO Blu-ray writer, is what the listing said. And nope, not a Blu-ray. Does have LightScribe, so for the 2 people on Earth who have ever used that, that might be a plus. So no Blu-ray. Windows 10 Pro, that was actually true. It came with Windows 10 Pro. 500 gigabyte hard drive, and it says that it can be replaced by a 1 terabyte upon request. And the hard drive that's in there is actually a 320 gigabyte Western Digital hard drive. So yeah, basically nothing that they said was going to come with it actually did come with it. And I just wanted to take a quick look also at just some of the build quality here, because there were a few things that I thought were kind of funny. So the most obvious thing before I even opened it up, I don't know how well you'd be able to see, but the I/O shield is actually hot glued onto the computer. You see that, how crusty it looks? Hot glued onto the outside of the case. So yeah. Also, there's some random blobs of hot glue in here. I don't know what they could have possibly tried to glue there, Maybe they tried to stick the hard drive there and it fell off, which is why, look at this, they shoved it in this floppy drive bay. So, yeah, hard drive shoved into the floppy drive bay. That's real top quality right there. Also, something else that I noticed was, I don't know how well you can see it in here, but these header connections, it's kind of dark, but basically what they ended up doing was they shoved the headers on there and just filled up half of the connector, so half of it's hanging off. I'm not doing a great job. Let me try to open that up a little bit so you can actually see it. Alright, so I wasn't doing a great job explaining it, so hopefully this will let you see what I was talking about. I pulled the hard drive out of the floppy drive bay there so we could see what was under it. And this connector is supposed to be the front panel buttons and LED indicators. And since this motherboard is for a Lenovo, and this is an HP case, obviously the proprietary connectors are not going to line up. So in order to make the power button work, they had to misalign this connector. And if you can see from the other side here, it's just hanging off the side. So only half of it's connected. And plus, I don't know what they did to this, it went blurry here. I don't know if you can see that, but I don't know what they did to the corner of this connector. But it looks like a dog chewed it up. I don't know if you can tell. Also, another unusual thing here, this white connector, I think that was supposed to be a USB header connector for the front case, because it does have two USB ports on it, but neither of those USB ports actually ended up working. And also there's an extra set of pins that are not connected on the side, so I think that the Lenovo might have had some proprietary connector there. And also this yellow connector I think is supposed to be the front panel audio, which they did the same trick with that and just stuck it on half the connector. Can you see that? Let's see if we can get a better angle on it. There, you can kind of see it there. So they stuck the audio connector on front panel USB 2 and just used the bottom row. So there's extra pins that aren't being used, but obviously that doesn't even go there to begin with. So I don't know who put this together, but I mean clearly they didn't know what they were doing, and also were, I don't know, they were either completely incompetent or they were trying to perpetrate a fraud, which they did successfully. The person paid for the computer and it turned out to be this. And yeah, I basically have no positive things to say about this. It's a complete disaster. It does actually turn on, but like I said before, it is not capable of playing any modern games really. None of the good ones, any AAA titles, that kind of thing. Just older, less resource-intensive games. But yeah, this definitely was a huge letdown. There's nothing that I can really do to make it better. There's no way to turn it into a gaming PC. So it's too bad that that happened, but I thought that you guys might get a kick out of some of the beautiful work of art here that is this computer. So anyway, let me know what you think of this in the comments. I'd be curious to see what some of your opinions are. But I don't know what I'm going to do with this. The customer ended up not wanting to take it back. They just want me to try to recycle it or something. Apparently the seller is not willing to work with them. They say no refunds, no returns. So I guess I've got some RAM that I can use, and this hard drive technically still works, so I can put those in the parts bins. We've got a optical drive up there that I can salvage. Probably wouldn't use this graphics card or this motherboard. That CPU might be okay. I don't know what I would do with that though, because I don't usually have computers that need a replacement CPU. I don't know, they're probably not worth enough to try and sell it online. Power supply. Now it's interesting, oh no, it does say HP part number, so this is a proprietary power supply. So, yeah, nothing too spectacular here. There's a shot of our Lenovo logo again. There we go. Lenovo. Gaming PC. So anyway, that's the end. It was kind of a disappointing day for that customer, but hope you guys at least got some entertainment out of this video. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Oh, also, I forgot to mention that when this first came in, I could hear something rattling around, and there were actually 3 loose screws and a zip tie, for whatever reason, that were just rattling around in here, just waiting to short something out. So, also goes to show the lack of build quality here. So, yeah, sorry I forgot to mention that earlier. Hopefully you stuck around long enough to hear it. Otherwise it wasn't too important, I guess. But anyway, this is the end for real now. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.